Repeating numbers. What do they mean and why do I keep seeing them? These are very common questions that occur during the beginning of a spiritual awakening. So we're going to start with the number 0. 0, 0, 0. The number 0 indicates nothingness. It also is very resonant with the concept of infinity, because there is no beginning, there is no end. It just keeps on going and going and going. It represents uncertainty, choice, and potential. So typically you'll see 0, 0, 0 around 10 o'clock a.m. or p.m., or if you have a 24-hour clock, it represents midnight, and at midnight a new day has begun and there's infinite potential in that. It also happens when the power goes out in your house and the microwave resets and you see the flashing zeros. You're uncertain, why did that just happen? Who knows, but it's time to move on, right? So 111 indicates new beginnings. When you see 111, you want to be aware of your thoughts because they're manifesting very quickly at this time. You want to stay positive and optimistic to make sure that you draw in abundance and balance. When you're looking at a number line, you have that 0 and you see a +1 and a -1. So you want to obviously go towards the positive numbers instead of the negative numbers. So when you see this 111, focus on the positive and go the correct way. 222. When you see 222, you need to have faith, trust, and encouragement for yourself. Keep the faith and stand strong in your personal truths. Just know that everything is happening for your personal good. 222 with me resonates with the spirit animal of a grasshopper, because a grasshopper can only move forward. It can't jump sideways. It can't jump backwards. It can only jump forwards. So just like 222, you're taking a step forward, and it's all in your highest good. 333. For those of you who are familiar with Catholicism or Christianity, you're familiar with the concept of the Holy Trinity, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, which in the physical realm would indicate the mind, the body, and the spirit. So when you see 333, just know that your team of guides is working as hard as they can, and they've heard their request, and they're trying to put it into motion. They're working on it. So use your talents and abilities to help uplift and empower others. Through service, we grow the fastest, and it also has to do with communication. So just know that when you see 333, you're in solid communication with your guides, and they are listening to you. Even if it doesn't seem like it in the moment, they are listening, and they're doing the best that they can to make things happen for you. With 444, you want to pay attention to your intuition and your inner wisdom. You're encouraged to stay on your current path and tap into your inner strength and just know that all is well. If you're new to tapping into your own spiritual gifts, one thing that I suggest using if you're not sure what your intuition is trying to tell you is called a pendulum. This one is made out of copper, but you can get them made out of crystals. And if you don't know how to use a pendulum, you can get one of these little discs that has the options yes, no, maybe, or rephrase. So what you can do is take your pendulum, hold it in the middle, and ask your question, and Spirit will channel through you into your hand, and you'll notice that the pendulum naturally starts moving. And you want to pay attention to the answer that it's giving you. Yes, no, maybe, or if the question isn't clear enough, rephrase and you ask again. Now, one downside to a pendulum is that it is only as clear as you are. So if you're asking, should I break up with this person or should I do this, and you don't want to hear the answer, it's not going to give you the correct answer all the time. You gotta be clear and just give up your expectations for the answer and trust that Spirit is guiding you. So 555, speaking of that, 555 indicates that changes are happening or will happen that are going to teach you life lessons. Now, typically when people think of a life lesson, they think, this is going to be painful. It doesn't have to be. It really doesn't have to be. As long as you're willing to let go of the old, whatever that may be, as long as you're willing to let go of the old that isn't positively serving you anymore, just trust that it's going to be replaced by something better that is in alignment with your highest good. So 555 is indicative of change. Good, bad, really it's all the same, but it's as long as you're focusing on the grasshopper and moving forward, it's always good. Even if it seems bad in the moment, it will loop back around and be good in the end. 666, again, if you grew up Catholic or Christian, it's associated with the devil, but it has nothing to do with the devil like Lucifer or Satan. 666 does pertain to that in the sense that Lucifer, the devil, Satan, is the prince of material desires. So physical lust for sex or for more wealth or for just physical goods, envy, gluttony, things like that. Those are connected to the devil. So when you see 666, it's indicative that you are focusing too much on the physical realm and you need to tap into your own inner spirituality and heal the issues that you have with the lack mindset. My suggestion would be try volunteering or just doing random acts of kindness when you see 666, because it helps get you out of that focus on yourself in the physical realm, and helps you focus on others, which in the greater scheme helps you, because you're doing things out of service for others. So it brings good in. Now, once you move past that lack mindset with 666, if you start seeing 777, that is a very, very lucky number. It means that you've been listening to the guidance that you've been giving and putting it into action, and your wishes are coming into fruition. So you're serving your divine purpose. When you see 777, one suggestion that I have is to start researching new spiritual topics, things that you're not too familiar with, because they can always just help your growth. They say that where you have the most resistance is your best opportunity for growth. So if you're one who's not really into astrology, maybe look into astrology. If you like astrology, maybe take it a step further, look into human design or life path numbers. I will be getting into life path in another video, so stay tuned for that. Now moving on, 888, 8 is the infinity sign. So similar to 0, it represents infinity, but in this case, it represents financial and material abundance are on their way. When you see 888, you should expect unexpected rewards for things you've done in the past. Just know that your karma is being repaid. Abundance is everywhere. Just tap into it. 999. When you see 999, certain aspects of your life are coming to a close. It could be just a chapter, a cycle, a lesson. Something is coming to an end, and yeah, don't fall for fear traps. This is going to act like an initiation into the next chapter of your life, as long as you allow it. If you block it, if you set up mental or psychic blocks to 999 and the end of a cycle, you're just going to repeat it, just like in our alchemy video that we did. Now, the most common one that everyone sees, and I'm sure this is what you've been waiting for, is 1111. This is taking 111 a step further. This is most commonly known as a wake-up call, or a code of activation, or a code of consciousness. I really like that one, code of consciousness. 1111 is a reminder that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, not physical beings having a spiritual experience. Once you've had your awakening, however, that 1111 wake-up call shifts, and that's why it becomes a code of consciousness. It means that the changes that you're having are encouraged, and to remember that remember what you were thinking when you saw 1111, either what you're thinking or what you're doing, because those things are meant to be clues or guides, essentially, to what you should be doing next. So 1111 is a wake-up call to tap you into this realm, and once you're in this realm, it's a reminder that you're on the path, and the things that you're thinking about, talking about, doing are in alignment with your soul's higher good, your higher purpose, and you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Keep on going, 2 thumbs way up. Now, another one that a lot of people don't really talk about, but it's becoming more and more popular, is the number 47 or 74. More often 47, but 74 is just the inverse of it. Now, why am I mentioning this? 4 and 7 together are the most common 2-digit numbers that pop up. It's the weirdest thing. It's become a little more popular recently. There's been a recent uprising of groups online, such as the 47 Society, 47.net, and a bunch of other things like that, that people are just starting to notice that they're seeing numbers. Now, it's not 1111, that's got its own realm, but 47, if you think about it numerologically, 4 and 7 put together is 11. So it's like a precursor to 11, which is a precursor to 1111. So just something else to think about. And now that you're hearing this, I'm sure at least one of you out there is going to start seeing 47 or 74 all the time, so I apologize in advance. But that's really it. This is just the basics of numerology, the repeating numbers that you're going to see throughout your journey. There are many other numbers that are specific to you as individuals. What I suggest doing if you see certain numbers that you're not sure about is to search. My personal favorite guide along numerology is Sacred Joanne. So if you go on Google and search Sacred Joanne and whatever the number is, it'll pull up a complete wealth of knowledge and information that's really been invaluable to me for the last 12 years now. So thank you very much for joining us, for joining me this time. My name is Steve Forchetti. I help guide people along their spiritual awakenings. And just as our little sign off, the books for this week for this video are New Consciousness for a New World by Kingsley L. Dennis. It kind of gives guidelines for the shifts that are happening right now. Just a nice, easy breakdown on everything that's happening with consciousness right now in the world. And the other one is God is in the Small Stuff and It All Matters by Bruce and Stan. It's a religious book, so it's still got some Christian dogma attached to it, but it's really important in teaching you that everything that you do is important, from the little things that you say to each other to the little actions that you take, random acts of kindness, things like that. It's all important, and it all helps us individually grow, and those individual growth moments help us raise the standards for society and help society also grow as a result. So again, thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Hope you have a nice day. Namaste.